Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News. Lord help us. Because today, America looks like somebody tried to deep fry the Constitution at a county fair and dropped it straight into a tornado. We got a shutdown in Washington, a showdown in Minneapolis, a takedown in Venezuela, a breakdown in Cuba, and a smackdown from Mother Nature herself. And somehow, in the middle of this, the Seattle Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. Truly, we live in end times. Segment 1. America's Tri-Storm of Chaos. Folks, the United States woke up today like it had been on a 3-day Mountain Dew and beef jerky binge. We got protests coast to coast, federal agents acting like stormtroopers who flunked out a stormtrooper school, and a shutdown that kicked in at midnight because Congress decided, hey, what if we just didn't? DHS is out here running Operation Metro Surge in Minneapolis, like they rented the city from Hertz and lost the insurance paperwork. You ever see a government agency with more men than sense? Well, now Minneapolis has 5 times more ICE and CBP agents than they have local cops. That ain't law enforcement. That's a clearance sale on common sense. And the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good lit the fuse. Folks are marching, chanting ICE out of everywhere, and signing up for ICE observer training like it's the new Fortnite season. 80,000 people on Zoom learning how to film feds without getting flattened. That's the most people to agree on anything since America decided bacon was good. Segment 2. The government shut down that nobody ordered. So at 12:01 a.m., the federal government shut down like an old Dell computer running Windows 98. And the reason? Congress couldn't agree on DHS funding because Senate Democrats said, hey, stop shooting citizens. And DHS said, what if we didn't? The Senate passed funding for everything except DHS, slapped a 2-week patch on it, and sent it to the House, which had already left for the weekend. This is the first time in American history that the government shut down because lawmakers were literally not in the building. Meanwhile, the IRS is closed on the eve of tax season, which is funny because that's the one week of the year Americans want to talk to them. Scientists are furloughed, airports are running on vibes, and the military's getting paid in gratitude and I owe us like it's the world's saddest Kickstarter campaign. And the TSA is still working, which is wild because the last thing I want in a crisis is a bored TSA agent saying, "Sir, please remove your shoes," when I'm already barefoot from the apocalypse. Segment 3. America re-enters the hemisphere like a drunk ex. Now let's talk about Operation Absolute Resolve, which sounds like a deodorant brand, but is actually the U.S. kidnapping the president of Venezuela. They flew into Caracas with 150 aircraft, like the world's most expensive HOA meeting, and plucked Nicolas Maduro and his wife like they were winning stuffed animals from a claw machine. Then they took him to the USS Iwo Jima, flew him to New York, and charged him with narco-terrorism. Folks, that's not foreign policy. That's a live-action Grand Theft Auto cutscene. And right after that, the administration slapped a national emergency on Cuba and told the entire world, if you give Cuba oil, we'll sanction you so hard your grandkids will feel it. China responded with, no, which is exactly how every parent responds when a toddler tries to negotiate dessert before dinner. Russia complained too, but honestly, Russia right now couldn't invade a Chuck E. Cheese without running out of gas. Segment 4. The Freedom 250 Agenda. Baby bonds and big questions. Now the administration rolled out Trump accounts. Baby bonds for every kid in America, with $1,000 in free government money invested in the stock market. I ain't saying that's a bad idea, but anytime the government says free money, I start checking my pockets. There's private donations too, with Michael Dell dropping over $6 billion like he's trying to win SimCity on nightmare mode. But here's the catch. Rich folks can add $5 grand a year, while poor folks can add hopes and prayers. So by the time these kids turn 18, one kid's account looks like a Florida mansion, and the other looks like that sad piggy bank your cousin smashed open in 5th grade for a Dr. Pepper. Critics say this could inflate housing prices, college prices, and all the other things already inflated like a yard sale bouncy castle. And some folks think it's a sneaky way to privatize Social Security. I ain't saying it is, but if I hear the phrase market-based benefits one more time, I'm going to start checking if my retirement's suddenly tied to the price of corn futures. Segment 5. The Bomb Cyclone, Melania's movie flop, and the sports of the apocalypse. Finally, Mother Nature woke up angry. A bomb cyclone is ripping up the East Coast like someone flushed the nation's weather down the world's biggest toilet. 85 people dead already, hundreds of thousands without power, and Nashville residents are heating their homes with fish fryers. That's not weather. That's punishment for something America did in 1987. The Myrtle Beach Polar Plunge got canceled because it was actually too cold, which is like canceling a chili cook-off because someone brought chili. Meanwhile, Melania's big documentary dropped like a brick tied to a heavier brick. Critics gave it 1 star, audiences gave it 0 attendance, and theaters in the UK were emptier than a Dollar Tree on payday. And in sports news, the Seahawks and Patriots are heading to the Super Bowl, which means America gets to argue about football again instead of politics, for at least 12 hours. NASCAR got delayed because the snow said, "Not today." And in California, thousands of Sikh truckers are losing licenses because someone discovered a new way to break the economy. In conclusion, America is currently dealing with a constitutional crisis, a government shutdown, a foreign intervention, an economic experiment, a historic winter storm, and a movie so bad it united critics everywhere. If this country were a person, we'd be calling for a wellness check. But as always, we'll be here tomorrow to poorly educate you through the chaos, one joke at a time. Tune in next time. Assuming the grid still works, the government still exists, and I haven't been deputized by TSA to inspect bare feet in an airport. God help us all.